Well, hello there, good people. It's your boy Johny-J, and welcome to another epic photo adventure. In this video, I'm going to talk you through my workflow for a sunrise seascape photo shoot. All right, let's get it.
We're all set up now, and unfortunately that block of cloud did play out. It's held up the light for now, but that's okay. We're still going to get those later tones, you know, those yellowier, the blue tones a bit later on, and I'm going to sit and wait for those. We really didn't get those big throw of magenta. It was right on the horizon line there, but yeah, we pretty much didn't get it. That block of cloud stopped that light coming up and reflecting on those high clouds. But the good news is we've still got some high clouds out there, so that's good. By the time the sun comes up above the block of cloud, or we start to get some nice light above that block of cloud, that you know, these clouds are still in play up high here. So fingers crossed for that. But all right, so here's my composition. Here's what I'm thinking. And you'll see we've got this nice big foreground rock here. It's got some lovely angles on it. I really like that. We've got that lovely more water movement around that middle rock there. And then we've got our two headlands in the back. The left-hand side is Yakabar and the right-hand side there is Tom Marie. We do have this rock here, distracting element, in the corner, so I can't frame it out. So what I'm going to do is I know I'm going to have to take that out in post. But at this stage, that's what we're looking at here. I think it's a nice balanced composition. The sun is actually, I'll just underexpose this a bit. The sun is actually going to come up over near this mountain on the left-hand side here. So I think that's going to be a nice composition, really. I'm really liking how that's shaping up. Composition wise, that's what we're looking at. Now it's just a matter of waiting for that light a little bit. When it starts to brighten up a little bit more, I'll start to shoot a few shots, particularly for that foreground there, just trying to get that right water movement. Oh, beautiful at the moment. The water movement in there is just awesome. I think it's going to look really, really cool. All right, so we're starting to get a little bit of color there now, throwing up high. So I am going to start taking some frames now. So let's jump over onto the back of the camera here. 1/4 of a second, f11, ISO 100, and I'm just underexposing the scene there by about a stop. And it's something that's really important. You need to know how far you can underexpose your camera and still get clean shadows, okay? It's a really, really important test to do. And all you need to do is just set up somewhere and just keep underexposing your thing by, you know, half a stop, one stop, a stop and a half, or a stop and 2/3, or whatever increments yours goes in, 2 stops. And then just open up the shadows and have a look and see how clean they are. It's an important thing to know on your camera, and every camera is different. The dynamic range every camera can capture is different, okay? So yeah, it's a good test to do. What I'm gonna do is just take a couple of shots here first. And I just want to zoom in and check that focus point. Yeah, looking good. We're sharp all the way to the back, sharp all the way to the tip of the front there in our sand. So that focus point there, you can see it's on a 1/3 there, right on that 1/3 from the bottom. You know, with focus, about 90% of the time, focusing in a 1/3 into the scene from the bottom works perfectly. As long as you're up around that f8 to f11 to get that proper depth of field, you'll be fine. So looking good, looking good. So it's just a matter of waiting for this water to come in now, and we're just going to take a few frames. All right, we've got some big waves coming in now. Come on, big fella. All right, let's start taking our frames. We're getting lovely water movement there. Perfect, loving that. Let's see if we can get one there. Oh, that's kind of interesting too, where you got that channel. Oh, that's a nice one as well. So let's zoom in there and have a look at that one. Yeah, I'm liking that water movement there. Really nice, really nice. All right, here come a couple of big ones. So let's just keep shooting now while we get these big bits of movement. Oh, that was a big one too. So with this type of photography where you got water movement like this, you just want to keep shooting the frames because you never really know which frame until you get back on the computer is going to be the one that you're going to really like. So the color out there has dropped off a little bit now, again with that block of cloud, but I am going to keep shooting a few for the foreground. There's still a bit of color out there, so if we have a look at this, yeah, those blinkies are good, exposure's good there, so I am liking that. I am going to keep shooting a couple. Oh, that was a big one. Oh, and the other thing you can do, remember, if you're not moving your tripod and you've got the same shot, I can blend different parts of this water movement together. So in Photoshop, which is a really, really cool technique. I do want to go back and see that one where it hit the rock there. Oh, that's kind of interesting as well. Might be a bit too dominant for the midground there. Oh, I do like some of that that water movement there for sure. All right, so that sun is just starting to peer through slightly out there now. We've got more of those orangey blue tones, so I'm going to keep shooting here. And the other thing I've done, I've put an ND8 on, so it's going to allow me to get that between that f8 and f11, but I want to keep the shutter speed around that 4th, 5th, 6th, you know, that sort of range. That's the movement I'm liking. So I have added another ND filter there, so, but it's looking good. We're starting to get that nice glow out there behind the mountain as predicted. And now it's just a matter of shooting a heap of frames here. Let's just double check. Everything's looking okay. Exposure is still okay. There's probably going to be a point where I'm going to have to start underexposing for the sky. So, you know, shooting for the foreground and the sky. But not yet. We're still okay. We're still within that sort of one stop under range where I know my camera can handle that dynamic range. So we're okay at the moment, but it's not going to be long. As soon as that sun pops up that little bit more, I know that I'm going to have to start shooting some different shots for the sky. All right, so we've got to that point where it's starting to get too bright out there. I definitely got to underexpose for the sky. So if we jump over on the camera here, you can see 1/10. I'll just take a couple of shots at 1/10 for that sky, and that should hold it back there nicely. And now it'll just be a matter of, yeah, that's nice. That's held that sky back. There's no clipping there now. So now it'll just be a matter of me jumping from foreground, you know, that 1/5, 1/4 sort of area, even up to 1/6 for shooting the foreground, and then underexposing and taking a couple for the sky. So we're starting to get that nice orange glow out there, which I think is looking really, really good. I'm really liking that now. Just going to shoot a heap of stuff for the foreground now. And every 3, 4 minutes, 5 minutes maybe, as that light's changing, I'm just going to get another underexposed shot there for that sky. And that's basically going to be the workflow until basically the sun comes up too high and those specular highlights hit the water and it becomes too bright out there. But at the moment, it's still looking okay. Still looking okay at the moment. So let's go down to 1/6 now. Let's go to 1/5, back on 1/5. Waiting for the waves. We're getting some nice yellow glow off the water now, which I'm really liking. Now it's just a matter of making sure I get a few different bits of water movement. So I've got a few things to play with in post, because really, like I said earlier, you never really know which one you're gonna 100% like while you're in the field. You wanna just keep shooting loads and loads of foregrounds. All right, here we go. Here comes one. This one looks decent. Let's go, live up to your expectations, bud. All right, that was massive. Oh, that was the one. Oh, wow. That water movement was epic. Oh, hopefully I captured it. Let's have a look. Oh, that's actually pretty cool. I actually don't mind that. There's nice water movement right up the top here. Ooh, nice. Oh, I like that one. Very, very cool. That's why I said you just never know. You just never know. Oh, I like that. Yeah, really cool. Even those ones are cool with it coming right up like that. Awesome. Oh, that was awesome. That was such a big wave. Really amazing. I think when that last big one came in, I feel like that was the one. There's definitely a shot there. So I feel like we nailed it. The sun's starting to get a little bit too high now. It's coming up above the headland. So yeah, oh, too good, too good. All right, good people, here we are in the studio. Now, if you regularly watch my videos, you might have realized that you didn't see my face many times in the field except from the drone shots. So I do apologize. I had trouble with my A camera, my main camera, but look, the video still turned out okay. It's some good information there. Let's get in and I'll show you how I put this one together. Alrighty, here we are in Lightroom, and you can see here are the base layers. So we've got this layer here for a bit of water movement. This layer here for the splash particularly, and this wave. This was my initial base layer. This layer here for this lovely bit of, it was this one here, for this lovely bit of movement around here. So all in all, I think they look pretty good. Now, let me show you in Photoshop when these are put together. So if I turn these layers off here, turn that layer off. All right, so let's turn the bottom layer off. So that's that initial bottom layer there. And that's with this area blended in. I really like that. I love the movement around here. I think that's really, really nice. And that's with this area. I felt like this area needed a bit more just to balance things out there. So I used a bit of that one over there, and that's been really nice. And I'm pretty sure that's with the rock and that removed. You can see that distracting element there taken away in Photoshop. And this is with a few other adjustments. You can see lots of localized adjustments. I won't get into those today. There's lots and lots there. But what I did want to show you is one little thing for changing perspective, okay? So I will turn these layer off, and what I want to show you is, look at this. So you see the mountains in the back? When you use a wide angle lens, what it does, it crushes down anything in the background, but particularly when you're shooting in the wider landscape orientation. Okay, so it tends to crush down that back subject. So what I like to do is free transform, and I might have gone a bit hard on this layer there, but let's just delete that and I'll show you what I did here. So just selecting your backs layer, there's the square selection tool, which is this one here. Actually, something selected already, so let's just get that square selection tool, which is this one here, and I'm just going to select a layer just underneath there like that, and then I'm going to right click it and go layer via copy, and you can see all that's done is made a copy of that top part of the layer there. Okay, really simple. So with that new layer selected of the top, I'm going to hit Command T or Control T on Windows, or if you go up to Edit, free transform. All right, so once you see the outline around that selection, you want to right click that area and you want to go into distort. Okay, and then from there you can just lift up that background a little bit. Okay, and then what we're doing is we're creating, I'm just going to hit the return key now or enter on Windows, and all we're creating is just to bring a little bit more dominance to those mountains at the background. Because we were using that wide angle lens, it's really shrunk things down, and I think just making that a little bit higher, it just looks a lot nicer there. All right, so here we are back in Lightroom, and here's the two final photographs. So this is the one without the free transform of the background, and this is the one with. You can see it's really subtle, but if you let your eye settle on that, I think it looks really, really nice, and I'm really, really happy to add a bit more dominance into the background. If you look at this version, you can see this rock and that just seems way bigger than any of the headlands and that at the background. Those headlands are really big back there, so that wide angle lens really does shrink things down. So just bringing it up a little bit like that, I think just adds more dominance to that area. And I'm really happy with the final photograph, with the rock being anchored here, with our midground, with our small splash, and our beautiful water movement through there. If you look, zoom in, I just love the texture that these shutter speeds create, that 1/5, 1/6 sort of area. Always looks really, really amazing. I like the movement, but with texture, I would call it. So really, really cool. Happy with this final image. All right, good people, that's it for this one. If you enjoyed it, as always, please like, comment, and if you're not subscribed, please do. My goal is 5K subs. That's my next goal. So if you can help me get there, it's free. It's just like following on other social media networks. Once you're logged in, just hit the subscribe button, and it's absolutely free, and it'll help support my channel and help get the word out about what I'm doing here, and my goal of helping as many photographers as possible. So I'd really appreciate your support, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. Stay inspired, keep creating. Peace.